I need to tell you first about the environment that created the Gettysburg Address. This happened during the Civil War. In the Civil War, our soldiers suffered more casualties than in any other war in which Americans participated. That includes the Revolutionary War, War of 1812, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and our experience in Iraq and Afghanistan. And between July 1st and July 3rd at Gettysburg, almost 200,000 men participated. There were 30,000 casualties, of which 7,500 men died. 5,000 horses were killed during this battle. And there was a need to place these bodies somewhere, and they were first placed in Gettysburg, and then they decided to make a national cemetery at Gettysburg. And by November of 1863, there was a ceremony, a gathering for the dedication of this cemetery. 15,000 people came. 6 governors came. And the president of Harvard University was the main orator. He spoke for 2 hours. And following his 2-hour oration, President Abraham Lincoln spoke for 2 minutes. And this is what he said. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we're engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We have met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a broader sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men living and dead who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which those who fought here have thus so far nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause of which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. So said Abraham Lincoln on November 19th, 1863.